Welcome to Radio Express World News, presented by Vibha Ramesh, Los Angeles, United States. A large number of unemployed people in the United States continue to make ends meet as a bipartisan agreement on the federal stimulus package still has several loose ends. However, Democrats and Trump administration officials announced on Thursday that they would meet again to bridge the gap between the two parties over the proposed bill. As America gradually inches its way up from the deep pockets of recession, the Labor Department will report on Friday the number of jobs the economy created in July. As reported by the Labor Department on Thursday, the economy is down 10 million jobs with new claims for unemployment benefits surpassing 1 million a week for 20 consecutive weeks. Meanwhile, the overseas travel advisory that the Trump administration lifted may not have a big impact as several countries have restricted travelers from America owing to its high infection rates. The National Rifle Association has a knife hanging over its head as New York Attorney General Letitia James has filed a lawsuit seeking its dissolution over the alleged violation of the state and federal laws. This suit alleges that CEO Wayne LaPierre and 3 other top officials instituted a culture of self-dealing, mismanagement, and negligent oversight at the NRA. A protocol test for coronavirus before meeting the president revealed that Ohio Governor Mike DeWine tested positive on Thursday. A long-awaited order requiring the federal government to buy certain pharmaceuticals and medical supplies from American factories was finally signed by President Trump. The executive order is an effort to motivate more domestic manufacturing of vital healthcare products. Recent data revealed that the coronavirus data dashboards in several counties across California were broken and the numbers posted on them cannot be relied on, which raises concerns as the decline reported by Governor Gavin Newsom earlier this week is now questionable. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi was the first to congratulate Mahinda Rajapaksa as his Sri Lankan counterpart as the latter won a clear victory in the elections. Around 504 Kashmiri separatists were released on Thursday after they signed an undertaking of good behavior, violation of which can have them rearrested. India's first rail to transport farm products will take to the tracks on Friday. The Kisan Rail will run once a week from Nashik to Bihar. The total number of active coronavirus cases as of today stands at 607,384 and fatalities at 41,585. Compared to other countries' coronavirus record spanning a few months, France reported a high number of new single-day cases of coronavirus in just 1 week, with 1,695 infections on Wednesday alone. This goes to say that the number of infections recorded since the start of August is almost at par with those recorded in the first week of May. Further, the number of patients requiring intensive care has also gone up in recent days. To this extent, the Scientific Council has already asked big cities to draw up home confinement strategies that would either be strengthened or relaxed depending on the evolution of the pandemic. Meanwhile, in Germany, the recent surge in coronavirus cases has recorded a single-day high of 1,000 infections on Thursday. According to their public health authority, the new cases were not localized and the spread is across the country. Lothar Weiler, president of the Robert Koch Institute, had cautioned the Germans for being more casual about the safety measures and not observing social distancing or mask wearing even when the requirements were still in place. There has been a lot of confusion and questions around the difference between pre-symptomatic and asymptomatic, and a new study in South Korea might throw some light on the subject. The study is known to be the first to bring clarity in the differences between the two groups. In effect, it published enough evidence that asymptomatic people host just as much virus in their nose, throat, and lungs as those with symptoms, and for almost a similar period of time. In their study, a South Korean team analyzed samples taken from 193 symptomatic and 110 asymptomatic people. About 30% of the asymptomatic patients appeared healthy throughout, while 21 developed symptoms. As reported by BBC on Thursday, around 50 million face masks bought by the British government will not be used owing to safety concerns. The masks were bought for the National Health Service as part of a £252 million contract. Instead of the usual head loop fastening, these masks had ear loop fastening, which the government found did not fit tightly enough. No more information was disclosed as the legal proceedings are still in progress. On a different note, the pandemic has left over 9 million people jobless and nearly 3 million have filed unemployment claims. Subsequent to the frequent violation of safety measures during the pandemic by Ryanair flights, Italy has warned suspension of the carrier. The airline company, though, refuted the charge made by the Italian authority as factually incorrect and that it had fully complied with the measures drawn out by the Italian government. Coming to the end of this news report, David Law, a Myanmar-born Canadian pastor, was arrested on the charge of spreading coronavirus to at least 70 people in the country. The preacher had convened a congregation that lasted for 27 days in Yangon, at which he preached that Christians were immune to the virus. However, Law contracted the virus after the congregation and was sentenced to 3 months of prison as he was found guilty of violating the regulation imposed against large gatherings. With that, we come to the end of this news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Please stay tuned for the next program on Radio Express. To receive Radio Express English news and English programs in your WhatsApp, please send a WhatsApp message, English programs, to 90727 95547. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Radio Express. Thank you.